Hello and welcome back to Just Another Modeler. Today we are going to be doing our review of the 1/60th scale Wing Gundam Zero. So as you can see, this kit is massive. There is a lot of height to this mobile suit. For a 16.7 meter tall Gundam transferred into a 1/60 scale, it is still pretty big. Not as big as an 18 meter or like the 20 meter Banshee or Unicorn. Obviously those are going to dwarf this thing, as in most wing kits. Most wing kits are about 16 meters or 15 meters tall. So this kit will definitely still demand a lot of shelf space on your shelf. It is an awesome little kit, went together pretty easily. Like I said, it's just a giant HG kit. There is a lot of panel lining detail, as you can see on the kit. We'll get more detail about that as we get a closer look and articulation and gimmicks. But as you can see, this kit does look very much like the show, and I know there is a lot of people that are from the US that have it where they were introduced to Gundam Wing back in 2001, I say, when they originally aired on Cartoon Network's Toonami. Definitely have been pandering for an actual representation of the Wing Gundam unit besides the non-grade 1/144 scale and the HD grade 1/100 scale, which those old kits are really not good at all. But this one, definitely a must-buy. If you could find it for less than $35, normal retail price for this is about 3,500 yen. So if you could find one for around that price, I'd highly suggest getting it. But anyways, let's get into articulation. So as you can see, because of the size of this kit, it's going to be very hard to keep it all in one shot. So let's try. I will try my best to keep it all in one shot so it looks cohesive. But again, this is a big kit, so we're going to have some issues trying to keep everything in place. Anyways, let's move on to articulation. As you can see, the head goes, well, head only goes up about that far, which is not far at all. You can go down and look down about that far. You do have full rotation at the head. You also have these awesome little gimmicks that will rotate around and reveal the Vulcan cannons. And put those back. And I already kind of just gave away the chest vent thing. You do have it where the vents can open. You can see inside there. You have them closed. And then on the back, there is this little switch that you flip over, and then you get your LED unit. Now, the LED unit inside this thing is not very powerful. Of course, then I don't know. I put some old batteries in it, but again, it's just a red LED light that basically hooks straight up to two AAA batteries. So, I mean, technically there is a lot of room inside there that you could put a higher voltage battery, like a 12 volt, 23A battery, and have tons of room to spare. And you can put more powerful LED lights in there. But if you put more powerful battery in there, you're definitely going to have to put a resistor into your LED light, or not into your LED light, onto your LED light, so that way you don't burn it out. We'll get into a tutorial about that later, because I do like the idea of being able to put LED lights inside the head. There is an actual like clear green piece that's inside there. It does come with a sticker that you put over the eyes, which I'm not going to do that because I don't really care for stickers. But anyways, this is green light or green clear plastic that you could actually put an LED light inside the head. There is enough room inside the head. We'll go into more detail about that. I actually will do a tutorial on how to make this thing look a lot better with LED lights and make it look more menacing. So anyways, moving on to shoulders, you have your gimmick that will open up, and your beam saber handle is stored inside here. You have your opening here where your thruster, you can have it either pointed upward or downward, like so, and then you have it where you can go about down that far. If you move this little piece up, you can go a little bit further down. Well, with the shield in the way, you can't go any further, but that's all right. Anyways, you can go up about that far. Now your arm posability, it's just a standard peg that sticks out with a ball on the end of it and a socket. So you're really limited on articulation when it comes to that. So your arm can only go up about that far. Go down about that far. If you move the wing out of the way, you can get a full 360 degree rotation. You do have a double joint at the elbow. I'll take the shield off because that is definitely hindering some of the articulation. We'll get into that one. So if you do that, you can have it where the arm can go up. A decent bend, although it does start to split here at this end right here. But again, that's just a standard old high grade type of connection point that they used to do for the old kits. Now for the hand articulation, you do get nice individual digits. You have it where you can pose them in any way possible. You can do the peace sign or various other gestures. We're just gonna, leave it as the metal sign because rock on. Anyways, you have full articulation in the finger digits. You do only get one bend here. Let's get that on camera better. You get the bend here and you get the bend here. You do not get the first digit bend. Focus. There you go. So you do not get a bend here. You do get the bend here, and then you get the bend at the knuckle on top. As for waist articulation, there really isn't any because of the battery gimmick, so the can only go forward about that far, which is nothing. You do get a 360 degree, but that's only because of the transformation. Again, focus. There you go, camera. You can do better than that. As for the legs, you get, again, we'll try to get this all in one shot. You have your skirting here that has it where it comes up and down, goes forward and back. You have your front skirting, which actually is individual. On older HG kits, they had it where these were molded as one, and then you had it where you could either skillfully cut it apart and have it where you can have it individual, or you would have it where you'd cut it apart and it would just break because there was nothing to hold it in place. But anyways, so your leg can come up about that far and go back about that far due to the back skirt not working, or no butt flap or anything like that. You can't have it where the leg can go back that far. You do get a nice double jointed knee, which only gives you about that far of bend. You do have your ankle, which can go down about that far, and go up about that far, and go pivot side to side. You do have it where you can do a rotation without the armor getting in the way. You do that for the transformation. You basically put the foot in like so, pull out the thruster unit, and blah blah blah. We'll go into transformation later. Anyways, as for your backpack, you get little thrusters on the side. Well, just gonna drop the gun now. Out of the freaking way. Your thrusters are individual, so they will be able to rotate around and have it where you can move them up and down, left and right, all through. The ball joint will do. Your wings will go in, out, and they will open up to reveal the inner detail. So you have your thruster here, which does not move. You have your ball joint and socket there for your transformation, which looks horrible. I'll try to get a better shot of that. As you can see, it will basically move that poly cap inside there, so that way you can actually make it so it lays flat and looks like an airplane, or Neo Bird mode. As for that covers pretty much most of the articulation of the actual unit. We'll go into the weapons. You do get a Buster Rifle, which then can make a Twin Buster Rifle. And then for the transformation, you have your handle that can fold up like that for when it's in Neo Bird mode. And then when you do the iconic shot of it holding both Buster Rifles and destroying all the Leos and the other Oz mobile suits all in one go, you can do that. As for the shield, basically the only thing it can do is extend outward and retract. So basically when he decides to thrust the shield into a Leo's chest, he can extend it even more and make it like like a battering ram to make it, you know, kill the wing even faster. Although ramming a shield into its chest with the pointy nose is probably going to kill the pilot, so extending it out is kind of a little bit overkill. But again, it is Wing Gundam, so everything is kind of over dramatic in that series. Giant robots that look all fancy dancy and not literally militaristic. But really, there's nothing else to the shield. It's just basically a couple pieces of plastic, some hollow parts on the inside, which is not actually that bad because I was expecting a little bit more hollow parts. It actually looks very decent on the outside. You do get your little Vulcan cannons on the front, which then when you do for the transformation, you can attach the Buster rifles onto the front of the shield and then have the transformation. Now, there is no peg for the action base, so there's really no peg down here in the crotch, and there is no peg on the back to basically hold this in a flight pose or anything like that. So if you want to have it displayed in flight pose, you're pretty much just going to have it where the Gundam's laying flat on the ground. So let's transform into Neo Bird mode. Alright, transformation time. Let's see if I remember how to do this. And I'll try my best to get this all in the one shot. So as you can see, it's in Neo Bird mode. Again, like I said, there is no peg for it. There is no adapter, no nothing for an action base. This was back in 1995 before action bases were a thing. So, posing this kit, you really don't have any option besides hanging it from, like, I would say string or fishing line would work really well because then that's clear. I'd say probably use like a 12-pound test fishing line because, I mean, granted this kit's not heavy, but you don't want to put something on it and have it where it falls. Anyways, Neo Bird mode, really nothing to it. Again, it just looks like the Gundam is laying down, pretty much how it's going to look in the shot. But other than that, you have it where your beam rifles are attached to the shield, your wings, and as for articulation, really nothing special. The wings do go up and down, in and out, and that's about it. So as you can see, we put it back in its standard mode, or Gundam mode. As for back in the 90s, these were the only options you had. You had your Wing Gundam 0 1/60th scale. And then here was your HG Wing Gundam 0. And then you had your non-grade Wing Gundam 0. So here's your 1/44 scale, 1/100 scale, and your massive 1/60 scale. As you can see, the one that looks a lot better is definitely the 1/60th scale. The 1/100 scale was not a bad kit. I mean, early Bandai, it was just kind of one of those things where we're kind of used to having to do a lot of work to them. Especially in the 90s, they weren't really that great of kits, especially the no-grade 1/44 scale kits. As you can see, there's a lot of things that are just be desired. I did forget to mention that Bandai did re-release the 1/44 scale kit. They did come out with this one right here, which is the Wing Gundam 0 mobile suit. I do not have this one built. Maybe we'll do this in a future review and we'll compare it to the rest of the Wing 0 kits. I know they also made the Master Grade Proto, but I don't have that one built either. Again, we'll probably do that as a kit review and then compare it to the rest of these. But these are pretty much the show accurate Wing Gundam Zero kits that you could have gotten from the actual TV show, because the proto is basically the one that's from the Endless Waltz manga, so it doesn't look anything like the original TV show variant of the Wing Zero. But anyways, as you can see, the 1/60th scale is a really cool model kit. Dated, very dated, 1995. So, but there are some really cool features that it does come with, and the lighting gimmick is very neat. I'm glad that they did give you the option to have clear eyes for the eyes and then the cameras, and you can obviously put an LED light in there if you're a little skilled in electronics. I mean, it's really not that hard to be doing that. Like I said, we'll be doing a tutorial on it and showing how to do that. Other than that, to me, it's actually not a bad little kit. If you could find one for around 30 to 40 bucks, I'd say pick it up. If you're an avid Gundam Wing fan and you really want a big version of the Wing Zero and have it on your display, I highly suggest getting this kit. If you're new to let's try this again. If you're new to Gundam and you only want the newer kits that are a lot better in articulation, posability, and overall, like, how do you say, show line art accurate, I guess they would say, because these kits aren't really line art accurate to what they were in the show. They are very bulky in certain areas, like the chest is very big and bulky, and the head's kind of, proportion wise, it's not very good. But if you're an avid fan and you want some nostalgia feeling, I highly recommend picking up this 1/60 scale kit. Way more than picking up the non-grade or the HG 1/100 scale kit. This was just another modeler. If you liked my video, hit like. If you didn't like my video, hit dislike. Check out my other social media aspects. I'll have the links down below. And subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you guys in the next video.